Hello lovely people, it's Nicola back in the Stitches and Slapdashery sewing room. It is September 2nd and you know what that means. It's day 2 of the Slapdash Colour Make Along 2024. It's Labor Day here in Canada and it's a holiday. I had a committee meeting this morning for the festival that I'm helping to organise later this month. That was fun, seeing everybody. I enjoyed it a lot. Before I do any more crochet today, I wanted to show you my progress for day 1. In case this is the first time you're seeing my videos, I am running a make-along for September, October, November 2024, and it's called the Slapdash Colour Make-Along or Slapdash Colour MAL 2024. And the rules are that it has to be colourful, and it has to be something big enough to keep your lap warm because we're going into fall. And even though the forecast says we're going to get more temperatures that are 30 plus this week, I am looking forward to darker, cooler evenings covered in crochet. I love doing my closet switch around when it comes to fall and I can get all my lovely woolies down off the top shelf of my closet and get ready to cozy up in lots of layers. So here's what I've made so far. This is day 1's progress. It is the Technicolor Dream Coat by Earth Tricks, and it's a top-down coat in many colors. This is my first row up here, and I'm working this way. Now, I got to the point at which she said to make the front panels and then join the shoulders and see how well it's matching up under your arms. And I was like, I know this isn't going to be big enough. It's definitely not going to be big enough. It was only 6.5 inches down to that purple row there. And when I put it on my body, there's no way this is going to reach under my armpit. No way. So far, I've added the lime green, 2 extra rows and an extra increase at the moment. I'm probably going to have to do possibly 4 more rows. She does say to customize it as you go. And I've had to do a bit of fudging because on the rows where she says to do the back loop, back post stitches. So let's hold it the right way up as if I was working on it. Where you're doing back post stitches, it makes this ridge. And you have to make sure that that's always showing. That extra textured ridge always has to be on the outside. And so at some points in this, I have to go back to the beginning of the row and work on the same side as the previous row, if you know what I mean. So instead of just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, sometimes I'm having to go that way and then come back here with a new color and work that way again, because I need this back post row. Or I could just work a front post double crochet instead of a back post double crochet. Anyway, so this part here where I knew that the bobbles had to end up on the right side, had to do a little bit of head scratching for that bit to make sure that my bobbles were on the correct side. But doesn't it look cool? So what you do when you've done your back panel and you're happy with it, to your armholes, armhole level, armpit level, you do the 2 front panels and then you join the tops and then you try it on. So at some point, once I'm happy with the back, I'll do the front panels and then join the shoulders and make sure that I'm happy with the ease I have in here, because it's a coat and there's a good chance that I'll be wearing it over not just a t-shirt, but maybe another sweater. And so I don't want it to be too snug, especially around the armholes and sleeves. So what I did my size would normally be the large in this. Because I'm not doing bulky yarn, I'm doing worsted weight yarn, the Loops and Threads Impeccable. I'm doing the XL. That's what she suggests, is just go up a size if you use the thinner yarn. And I'm still having to make sure that this is going to turn out big enough because I want lots of room inside. So that's where I am so far. My bright sort of lime green yarn is still attached. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 3 rows or just the 2 with this color. Maybe just the 2. And I'm trying to avoid doing the rainbow. I have rainbow colors, but I'm trying to avoid doing the Roy G. Biv, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, because I don't want it to be quite so predictable. And I want the colors to really zing against each other. So I started with the red, orange, and I was going to do the gold, and I thought, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. So I used all my more darker tones already, and all I have left is the lighter ones. So I think I'm going to have to bring in a darker one before I use all my 12 colors. So I'm not sort of grouping them dark, light, because I think that would look weird. Anyway, it's growing on the hook, making it up as I go along, you could say. Since I did my day 2 update at the beginning of this video, 2 days have gone by, and I'm going to show you where I'm at so far. So far, this is my back panel on my Technicolor Dream coat, and as you can see, I did quite a few extra increases. She only did 1 increase in the pattern right here. So I added all of these extra rows and 2 more increases, because I think I'm going to need that in order to have it fit. There may even need to be extra rows again, but I'm not sure yet. I've decided to stop there and then get the front panels done. So I have 1 front panel finished to the armpit, I hope. And this one increases on this side. So that will, excuse me if I mess up the microphone, sit here. And hopefully, rustle, rustle, crackle, crackle. Hopefully when the shoulders are attached, it will actually join the back under the arm. I'm not 100% sure it's going to, but I matched my extra increases and extra rows. And then for the other front, I'm this far. Not very far on that one yet. But yeah, that's the second front bit. And when I have got this one looking like this one, but a mirror image, I'll be able to join the shoulders and see how it goes and see whether I need to add any more rows to that. So that's the Technicolor Dream coat. And I probably already said who the designer was earlier in this video, but that was 2 days ago. And I've forgotten what I said 2 days ago. That's the trouble with recording a video over the course of a few days rather than all in one go. It's coming along anyway. It's still not the sort of comfortable temperature for crocheting, unfortunately. Every day this week is going to be over 30. So one of the things I did just start as a little portable crochet project as well. I took this out with me today as a little bonus bag, and also took some of this dishcloth cotton and this dishcloth fabric, which is, these are both from Fabricland. They're Fabricland's own brand yarns from way back. They were on clearance when I picked up a ton of them. It's called Spindle. This is just called Spindle Yarns Dishcloth, and this one is Spindle Yarns Essential Cottons. They don't exist anymore. They changed their branding to tailor to match up with all their other own brand stuff. This is like a polyester scrubby yarn, and I have made a whole ton of crochet dishcloths in different colors. And what I usually do is I usually coordinate the colors. So I've had purple with purple, or blue and blue. These guys did not have matching exactly, so yellow and orange had to work out. And so what I do is I crochet, just wing it. I don't have a pattern for these, I just wing it. So these two little circles are made with the polyester yarn to make a scrubby interior. So I do two of these, the same size, and then I grab the cotton yarn and I crochet around to make a circle of cotton fabric around the scrubby. So it scrubs and it wipes. Sound like an ad, don't I? It scrubs and it wipes. And they work great. I really love these dishcloths, and they last for so long. And yeah, they're really great. I have a massive pile of dishcloths. And I think what I should probably do is, in between my bigger projects, I should probably just make a ton more of these and give them away as gifts at Christmas. I think I said recently I don't make Christmas presents, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to have some things put away in reserve for when you do want to give somebody something. So not a huge amount to talk about this vlog. It's mostly about the make along, but I do want to tell you how excited I am about some of the magazines I found at the library this week, because I did a shorts about it, and I just did a scan of all these magazines I brought home from the library. There were sewing ones, crochet, cross stitch, and one that's just a really arty-farty one that I absolutely adore. So the sewing one is this one. It's called Sew News. Now there's another magazine out there that's called Threads, and that is a very, what I would call an upscale magazine. And they have some pretty advanced techniques in there. This one is a bit more approachable, a bit more casual, and I really like what they've got in there. I don't like buying magazines. I don't know about you, but I feel like when you buy a magazine, you're getting at least 50% ads. And then you read them. It takes maybe half an hour to look through it. You put it away and you don't touch it again. So to get it from the library makes so much sense, right? So I have a whole pile of these, and I'm really enjoying them. There's a lot in here, not about just about making things from scratch, but also about hacking patterns or adapting things or upcycling things. And yeah, this is just totally me. But the arty one I want to tell you about, I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's called Uppercase. This one has a lot of stitching in it. That's why it's got the English paper piecing on the front. And it's very, very tactile. I think somebody left a painting in this one, a painting by Numbers Kit. I don't think that's part of the magazine. I think that was a previous reader left that in there. But it's printed on a lovely, thick, almost like cardstock. It feels so high quality, and it's got so much in it. So much inspiration. The byline is for the creative and curious. And every page is just so beautiful and colourful that I feel like, I mean, just this back cover, look at that. I mean, you could just take any of the pages in this magazine and make art with them. And It's so tempting to subscribe to this. It's a Canadian magazine. I think it comes out of Ontario or somewhere like that. Nope, Calgary. So it's published in Calgary. It's a quarterly magazine and it's $96 a year to subscribe. So tempting. But you know, it's just something else that would end up piling up in here, and my sewing room is already a little bit full. And it would just be another thing that would probably add clutter ultimately. But I'm so sad that I can't cut up library magazines, because this would just be so enjoyable to cut up and make something else with, or just paper my sewing room wall with it, for crying out loud. So yeah, I don't know if you can get hold of this uppercase magazine from your local library. If you're in Canada, I'm sure you can. But I've only ever found it at the main branch. Now, where I live, we are fortunate in that we are part of a big network of libraries, and you can borrow from this library and return it to this one because it's all part of the same network. But I rarely go to the main library because it's not my most local one. But I need to go more often, obviously, because this is where they have it. I have never seen it at any of the other libraries in the network. And I just want to drool over them all, really. Just so gorgeous. So much arty inspiration. I don't really consider myself an artist as such. I don't find I have a lot of imagination when it comes to doing something different. I have a friend who is a textile artist, and she has actually had her textile art on the wall in a gallery, and it is definitely art. I can tell the difference between what I make and what she makes. And I'm nowhere near her standard. But yeah, it makes you want to create. So I guess the magazine's byline is totally accurate, because makes you want to create. What else was I going to say? Okay, so what's been going on the last couple of days? Well, I started my new job. Yesterday I did a 4-hour shift, which entailed sitting on a computer doing courses, online courses. So I was at the store and I had to do online courses on all sorts of aspects of the business, learning all about the company policy, all these different organizational things. And yeah, it was quite a lot for the old brain to take in, I can tell you. So that was fine. And I met a few of the other people who work there and figured some stuff out. And then today I was there for another 4 hours and I was learning Cash. It's a touchscreen till. A lot of it is fairly easy to learn, but you just have to figure out what order to do everything in. Like, you have to say, hit this button, then the scanner is functional. You scan everyone's stuff. You have to maybe scan their coupon. Then you have to find out whether they're part of the rewards program, put in their phone number or whatever. Then if they look like they're a senior, you have to tactfully say, are you eligible for the senior discount? And they go, oh yes. And so you scan that in. And then obviously they need to know, they want a bag or whatever. And yep. And then there's returns and all that. And so I learned a lot today. So that was like probably 80% of my shift. And then the last bit, I was learning how to take things that people have returned and get them back to where they belong on their shelf or on their peg. And you get this little handheld thing and you scan it and it tells you exactly where it has to go. It's a very accurate system. It tells you exactly where it has to go. There's going to be a lot to learn in this job, but it'll be good for the brain. it's good for the body as well, because I'm going to be doing a lot of steps. Yesterday I was sitting for the whole 4 hours. Today I was standing for the whole 4 hours. And you know what I did? I did a stupid thing. Instead of wearing my lovely squishy Skechers, try saying that 3 times fast, I wore my Dirty Laundry Granny Square shoes that I bought, I think last year. Those shoes that look like granny squares, well, they actually do have granny squares attached to the outside of them. Very fun. But even though I put my insoles in, they're really not as comfortable as my Skechers. And so by the time I left there today, my feet were sore. A plantar fasciitis was killing me. Oh well. And then I went to the gas station, the Costco gas station, and then I went to Costco. So that was quite a bit of walking. And then I had to go and get some trial contact lenses from my optometrist. And so by the time I got home and I had unloaded all the groceries, my feet were very sad. And then, of course, I made dinner. Oh, I made the most delicious focaccia tonight. It was a very basic bread dough. I forgot to put any olive oil in the dough, but I made a fairly basic dough with herbs in. And then once I had risen it and shaped it on the baking sheet and kind of dimpled the top, I put sun-dried tomatoes and olive oil and salt and pepper on it. And I have this salt, which is like a chunky sea salt. Oh, yes, it was delicious. So we just had a multicolored salad. Having gone to Costco, I had all sorts of a rainbow of vegetables to put in the salad. So that was awesome. That's all we needed, was just focaccia and salad, and it was a very satisfying dinner. And then we went for a walk. So I definitely got over the 10,000 steps today. And I'm well tired. Been up since 6. But that's okay. I'm easing myself back into a regular work schedule. And yeah, it's good for me. It makes you, I find, a lot more productive when you're not at work, because your time is more limited. Okay, well, I think this is going to be a short one, but I wanted to update you, do a little mid-week update on how the make-along is going for me. There's a few other people who are joining in. Some people have already used the hashtag on Instagram. There's a couple of people who aren't necessarily putting it on Instagram, but are joining in on Ravelry. And who else was there? Oh yes, one of the subscribers to this blog doesn't use Instagram a lot, but she's joining in. So even if you don't see a huge amount of photos on the /color Mal 2024 tag, that's not everyone who's participating. So I do hope you're joining in. If you needed to know anything about it, my last 2 vlogs with the colourful thumbnail, which says /color Mal 2024, blasted across it. The information's under both of those videos. If you want to go back, you can join in any time. And we're going to the end of November. So you've got lots of time to do that. So thanks for joining me again today. And I will do my best to update you again on the weekend and hopefully show you lots more coat. Bye for now.